Everyone, welcome to another session of Mulesoft Certified Developer Level 2 exam preparation. In my previous video, I have talked about integration pattern, Scott gathering, and the other session I talk about how to build custom policy. In this session, we will cover about Maven related topics. But as you know that Maven is used almost in all the development, so it covers quite a wide range, of the topics. Like you can execute a new unit with Maven. You can do the implement Maven-based automated deployment. We're going to cover that. So last time we already covered in this session covered the custom API policy, and today I'm going to mainly focus on how to build the library. So even so, I cover a particular topic. For example, in the custom policy, I touch base with Maven setup, and this is pretty heavily tested in the certification exam. There will be at least 5 to 10 questions relevant with this topic. So I have write my document. So first of all, we need to understand the basic life cycle. This is pretty. There will be one question about this life cycle. So you need to remember it. First, Maven will do validate our project, and then do compile, test, package, verify, install, deploy. So in our daily practice of building a new application, we do not use Maven validate, for example, right? We do use test. We do use Maven clean package, for example. We do install. We don't use verify. So, but in the exam, the sequence here, it will appear. So we need to remember this. So this is one or two questions. It could make a little bit difference to pass or fail the exam. The second topic, we need to know how, when we do deployment to Cloud Hub, for example, deploy the asset to Exchange, what the credential, how we authenticate our local environment to the Exchange. So basically, there are three types of authentication, which is specified in the setting.xml. One is through the username and password, and this is a simple approach. But in many cases, in the production, we don't use. Today, the most popular actually is using connected app. This is most popular. Another way is using the token. It's in particular when the organization using SSO for us, for a developer. If we want to publish, this is pretty popular to use, and probably you have to use this. And how to get the token, that is another topic we can, normally we can set up the XML hook and to look into this token. So you have to this is exactly how the credential appear in our setting.xml file. So this is, it will appear in the exam. So this need to know. They don't question exactly how many type, but I think they will ask you, hey, what's the purpose of this? So you need to understand. So this is when we do deployment, it is we need to send this credential to Exchange or to runtime manager when we do a deployment. When we publish to the Exchange, we need to send this credential. And I'll talk about how this is used in our Maven pom.xml. So remember, this is in the setting.xml, and we need to have this in our pom.xml. This is our Maven project. So also we need to know how to build our reusable library. This will be tested in the exam for sure. So this is the topic. Encapsulate the common Mule application functionality in library. So basically what happened is that there are quite some repetitive flow, for example. In particular with error handling, and also some common configurations. For example, HTTP connect configurations. Those are the good candidate to put the common library. So I will do a demo. First, I'll walk you through this. There are a lot. I put a reference. I will put those reference in the video. You can take a look. Those are the Mulesoft documentation. So to build a library, we put the common flow or error handling as XML file configuration, Mule configuration XML file. But there is a particular plugin we need to put into the pom.xml file. So the first one is the Maven plugin, and this is pretty important. So this is the configuration. So we need to put this one into our pom.xml file, and so you need to remember this, because this will be appear in the exam for sure. Is Maven plugin classifier must be a Maven plugin, and we need to also, there is a repository. This is we need to put in our pom.xml files as well. So as you can see, this Anypoint Exchange, this is our ID for we define the authentication. Here I use a repository. So this has to be, if this is a repository, we need to put this as a repository. So there, in my last session, I have touched bit on also this one. This is pretty important in the distribution management. This part is for the deploy or publish our asset into Exchange, or deploy the application to Mulesoft runtime. I will cover the topic in the next session. We'll cover the deployment Maven for CloudHeart deployment and also for execution of the unit testing. So I'm going to do a demo how to build the library project, how we're going to use it, what are the particular area we need to pay attention. So let's go to the project. So I have built let me close all this. So I have built a common lib. Let me see if I can. So I have built a common lib. This is exactly the same when you do project. You do exactly the same as a create a new application project. Everything's the same. But the only difference is this file. So let's see. Let me put this back here. So as you can see, this is the version. This is the group ID. This is the organization ID. Excuse me. We need to put here as a group ID. So last time I showed you how to get group ID from any platform. Let's do a quick review if just in case. So let me see. All right. Okay, let's log. So this exchange. There are two ways, right? You can go. So this is my account. All right, you can go to the exchange. Go asset, and you can quickly click this, and you can get this, right? So this is the organization ID. This is probably the easiest one. And if you are admin, you can go here, access management, and go to organization, and click this. You will see this. So we cover that. This is just a review. So make sure you use this. You have to do this. Otherwise it won't work. And so we talk about that we need to add a plugin, and this is the one, this part. So let me put. So you can see that under build, there will be a classifier. This is the important part. So, and another important part is the distribution management. So this also important one. So remember this one I talked about the server that has to be in. This one has to be specified in our setting.xml in the Maven, and this is to identify our organization. So those are the area we need to pay attention. Okay, so the Maven setup is two places we need to make sure we understand configuration. And this is for deployment, for the publishing, and also this plugin. So there's only two the areas we need to pay attention when we develop the common library. So the common library is most, let's say this is the global error handling, and also just for the demo purposes, I put a HTTP listener configuration. This for the demo is nothing fancy. In the real case, we'll put some here into property with the values and some security stuff here. But this is just there is a common property, common configuration properties like that, and this is for the common library we need to develop. So once we develop this, we can publish this, right? So this is a common library. So let's go run a Maven command, and I already have here in the library here. So let's bring it a little bit bigger. All right. So let's do a Maven clean deploy. Simple like this. Okay. So you see it error handling. If we run it, they try to deploy. Oh, it failed, right? So, in our development, we need to, I don't think they will appear this in exam, but, for the experienced developer, you should always look in the error and see what happened here. You see this here? They said asset with this version is published already in the lifecycle. So that means we have a version already in our exchange. Now let's take a look. So let's go to exchange. So common lab error handling. So let's take a look. You see that I already have version here. So now there are two strategies. We can delete this one, or we can add a new one. In general, we should not delete the one because some application may using this library. So it's always a good idea to keep the older version. Actually, this will appear in the exam. There's a question about this. Should I delete it? You should delete the old version and just add new version and tell the customer whatever. So remember, whenever they say you should delete, don't choose that answer. So what we do, for the demo purposes, let's change the version. You might add, think about you made some changes and. So for example here, for the demo purpose, let's make a little bit, just make some simple changes. This is a minor version changes. So, all right. So this mu.env, you can always pass as a variable. This is a global property. So you should know from the level 1 test. This appear in the level 1 test. So it will not appear here. So what we need to do, we need to go to the palm.xml file here and let's change to 1.2. I didn't do much, right? I just changed some space. Let's save this. And now go back here. Let's do another build and deploy. So let's see what will happen. As you know that my video, I always show you some error situation and show you how to analyze the error and how to fix this. So as an experienced developer, we should always know how to fix the problem, right? In a lot of cases, we'll encounter error. We must look at the error and try to figure out the way to fix it. Okay, so now you can see that build successful and also publish complete, right? So now let's look at the go back to here and let's refresh and let's take a look here. And now you can see that there is 1.02 is published. And also this, you see this is the today date, right? December 13. And of course you can edit something here, for example, and put some email here and also add the descriptions, right? So this is a library for common error handler code. So, and then you can publish this. So you see this. Okay, so now what happened is that we just create a shared library, and we should be able to use it. And let's see. So here, there is called dependency snippet. So this tells us how to use this library. Basically, the client who want to use this, they need to copy and paste this. So let's do a copy here. All right. So and now let's go back to our client code. So I create, so now we can close this, close all, and close this library, this we showed last time. And so I create a project which use common library. And you can see that it's here, right? So this is the common library. And if you look, you can look inside this actually. So you can see that this is our common library. See, this is the old version, right? The new version, I add some command, okay? So this is the beauty about this. You can look at the code, how it look like. But as this is the old version, 1.0.1. And I want to use the new version. So let's go to our dependency here. And this is our dependency. You can see that. So there are few things. The dependency always, you see all the libraries plug in, right? So this must be a plugin. And this will appear in the exam. So they will put some application, some confuse you. But make sure this classifier is a plugin as a client in the client code. And this group ID, this is artifact, and this version. So we just develop a new version, right? So we do 1.0.2. So now let's save it. So once you save it, you will see there are some changes here. And you see this here now changed to 1.02, right? And we can look at the code. And let's say, you see our change, which I just made changes, add some space here and with this, right? So now let's just for the purpose of the demo, let's look here. Sorry. So let's close this. So this is a we need to look the client code. So this one, the use library. And we were looking here earlier, right? So the version, and make sure that we can see the code here. This is exactly the same code in our development. So, and then we can, this is, remember this, I add this like in the Maven, right? So let's go back to review one more time. So this is the one, this is a dependency. And this is a plugin. So make sure you, when you take the exam, you choose this one, Mule-plugin. All right. So for the completeness, let's look how we use the file. So I create a simple flow, and if you look at the configuration here, you see I command this out, right? I don't have the HTTP listener configuration because that is in this import. So remember, this will be in our exam. So when we use the common library, we have to import this file. Right? So just for your purposes. So make sure in the exam for sure there will be this question, ask you this. So make sure you have, when you in the client code, it must has import, and name is import, and ID, and also the file name. So the file name, remember that, so this is a file name is exactly here in our library, right? So you can look at this global error, and this is the file name, right? So this has to be the same. So let me save this file. So, and I can remove this, right? So you just for make sure we do not you see we don't have the listener configuration here, right? So this we reference this, but we don't have the definition because it's already defined. That's how we reuse the flow. And in our code here in the exception handling here, so I use the global common error handler. and that means we can reuse this. This is useful and make our code cleaner and a lot of the flow, the common logic. We can use the library. So the question is, can I use the XML SDK to put this common logic? So that is a good judgment. We have to pay attention. So if it's a common logic and common flow appear in many projects, we should use library. But if you think it's act like a business logic and it's used, widely, could be widely organization-wise, it's behave like connector, for example. That in the case we should using XML SDK. But if is we put a lot of flow library, it's like a library. It's not a simple connector case, right? So we should not use XML SDK. I remember there is a question similar like this. So we need to also make sure we understand. Library is for the common flow. The XML SDK is for the business operation. There are certain operations we can put it in the XML SDK. All right. So I have everything. So you see, I have Maven. I have import. Right, that's the two piece, right? One is in the Maven, we import the dependency, and you also see here, right? Common lab is like library, and there are other library, right? You can see that this is another library. There are other library here. It's same, treated like the same. And all the libraries Mule-plugin as a classifier, so we need to remember that. So let's do a quick run. Make sure it compile. So if you notice that in this project, I have to create this because in the library, they're looking for this file. So make sure you also have the similar, even though in the common library, so you see, I have in the client side, right? We also have this. So actually, it's not looking when you use that library, it's using your project. It's not using the library one. So now you see it's deployed. Let's do a quick invocation. There's nothing fancy here. I just create message. I just want to show you we can use the library successfully. I run it earlier already here. Let's rerun it. You see that? Okay, all good, right? So yeah, so let's recap what we have learned today. This is important part. I guarantee it will appear in the certification. So this one for sure it will appear in the certificate. It will ask you the sequence. You must remember this. The most confusing part is for us. You need to understand that test is appear before the package. If you do MVN, for example, MVN clean package, it will execute the test code. So that's why you have to do, if you don't want to do tests, you do something like this. Let's say, in our run, you do, let's, maybe we use, this is better way, right? You do Maven clean package, right? You do -d, and I think is, was that test.skip, right? You can do equal to true, or you can do something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, because I don't have it, so it's fine. But this all in the document. So this make sure there's a confused. They have 4 choice, right? They mess up. This all mess up. You have to choose it one correct order. I know a lot of developer mess this cannot answer this because they didn't read this document. It actually is in the document. And I remember I did a test before. I also see the similar questions. That's why I put this out. And also, you need to know authentication method. There's 3 types, right? Credential, username and password, access token, and also connected applications, connected app. All right. So I think I covered the Maven for build the common library, and we will have another session. We'll cover the other topic, like how do we deploy to Cloud Hub, how do we use Maven to execute tests. There is another one also in the XML SDK. How do you extend the MuleUnit test? I think that it is Maven MuleUnit extension. So that is also appear in the exam. So I will cover that these 2 topics in the next video. All right. Good luck, and let's continue the next session. All right. Thank you.